Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nut Braids, and today I'm walking you through the first key that I did on the live server for the Nightmare Chimera. When I sat down to record, I was the current best key in my clan. I've now been overtaken massively so by Ford Tough, who's done a lot more. How much better did he do than me in the Clash, actually? Uh, Actually, believe it or not, that's great. No. Yeah, so he's done 50% more than me on Nightmare. I was gonna say Brutal, but I forgot. We're on Nightmare. So this is Nightmare difficulty. I got 2 billion Clash points. He's got 3 billion. Very, very cool. You see, he did 6 trials. I've done 12. So this is my key, though. 163 million damage with 12 trials completed. That was one of my big goals, was to try do as many trials as I could while still getting good damage. Senna, by the way, looks to be absolute MVP of this team, of this whole fight. But yeah, I'm going to walk you through what I did, why I did it, and which trials we were trying to do. So let's jump in. Let's click go. Like I said, I did my key on the test server, and that was doing more damage, but not as many trials, which is why I switched up my team a little bit, was just to try to do trials. What do we have happening in the team? The champions. First of all, we've got Lady Mikage in the lead. She's in the lead, so Ninja has enough accuracy. He otherwise wouldn't, and I didn't want to re-gear him. But she is in there to help us do a couple of things. Number one, she just makes the fight easier. She's doing a lot of damage with Ninja, but she brings in ally attack, which is essential for some trials. And actually, the first time we fight against the Ram form, we swap her into Form 2 to give our team increased accuracy, which again helps us to do one of the very important trials. So Mikage is really in there specifically for those two trials. Also increase attack. She brings increase attack for a trial. She brings ally attack for a trial, and increase accuracy for a trial. So lots of nice little bits there on top of big damage and the buff extension, debuff extension, which is pretty clutch as well. You can do some fun plays with that. It can be very impactful. You have to do a lot of manual with it to min-max the Viper trials. They're the most complicated. We'll get to those. Yeah, she's in there for that. Elva is in to keep us alive, to keep us healed up, to revive Ninja when he kills himself every 2 seconds against the Ram. So that's Elva. Cleanses us, keeps us alive against the Vipers, kind of essential. So she's just in there for that. I don't think she's really helping with trials. She's just doing the stuff. Ninja is just doing damage. I was hoping Ninja would do... There are some trials where it's like damage the Ram form while you're under perfect veil. I said, that's amazing. Ninja gives himself perfect veil. Ninja does a lot of damage. This trial for the Ram form, amazing. It's a match made in heaven. It doesn't work. My Ninja, at least, he's just dead the whole time. He can't make any progress on the trial. It seems to me like maybe if he dies, it doesn't count the damage towards what he did or something stupid. That's what it seems to me. If he dies, it doesn't count his damage. I don't know exactly, but I could not do that trial. The most important thing he's in for is HP burn and just doing damage. But HP burn is the unique thing he's doing in this team that makes it hard to swap him out for somebody else, because the burn is helping us to do more damage. Touch on the others quickly. Nekmothar is in there for decrease attack, decrease speed, and very importantly, leech. Leech is helping us to, again, progress on some of the trials. So he's great. I think actually Snick Track would be a pretty substantial upgrade. Because Snick Track brings shielding, reflect damage, and ally protection as well. I think all of those things can help you on some of the trials that I simply couldn't do. So he'd be something to consider. And there's probably lots of other ways you could switch stuff. This is just what I did for the first key. And then Lydia. Lydia's doing so many trials. Obviously, decreased defense weaken, letting us do lots of damage. She's got Fear, which is essential for trials on the Ram form. She's got block active skills and poison sensitivity. For this run, I put her in a toxic set as well. So she's really clutch for there's trials that need block active skills on the Viper, trials that need Fear on the Ram form, and then just all the buffs she's bringing our team. That's what's happening. This key is not full auto. That's very important to note. I would full auto most of the ultimate form, as you saw, but then I'll take control towards the end. And the reason is just to save our cooldowns, right? For example, there's no point in dropping Lydia decrease defense and weaken if the boss is about to swap form and the debuffs are going to disappear. Simple enough. So we would save moves like that, and we'll talk about the different ones. Then we come into the Ram form. I have not yet figured out how to stop this from happening. He just one-shots Lydia. She's pretty tanky, guys. It's tough. I wonder if you could build her with enough stats, or maybe you need relics. I don't know. So I never worked that out. I still haven't. That would be a goal for the rest of the week. How to stop your dual person from dying. But I've got Lydia. He always targets the lowest crit damage. So I built Lydia on purpose with the lowest crit damage. It would be fine if she lived. It would actually be great because she'd just spam her A1 and put fears on him, which is exactly what we want. But that didn't happen. Didn't happen. And then we get to see Ninja. Ninja's going to come in. Didn't actually kill himself that time. It's a miracle. He weak hit on everything. It does mean no burns. Now, the annoying thing about that is this boss, in Ram form, he reflects the first debuff back. So that should have been perfect. Reflect the burn back at Ninja. Great. And then we could decrease speed and decrease attack and important stuff. But not going to happen. So now we've got to do some other stuff. I think we're going to turn meter boost with Nekmothar. But decrease attack, he throws it back. And it only happens once. It's not too bad. Now, I actually forgot to do something here. So if we look at the trials, let me walk you through the trials for this boss. Come into Nightmare. So for the Ram form, these are the trials I did. Damage him while he's... In fact, let me show you this first. This is actually the easier thing to do. So what trials did I complete? It actually shows you here. Yeah, this button, Ram form. I did trial 1, easy and normal. And I did trial 2, easy. That's it. I did not get much done for the Ram form. It's a pain in the ass. So I did trial 1, easy and normal. Damage you only is under fear, true fear. You saw, that took me, 38 turns. Then this is very, very misleading in how it's worded. They actually need to go in and rewrite this text. Damage the Chimera on all 5 of its turns in this form, using skills that scale on enemy max HP, as well as poison, HP burn, and smite. Now, what this actually means, if you read it, is that on every single one of its turns, I have to do enemy max HP damage, and then I also have to do poison, HP burn, and smite. Or perhaps I have to do poison, HP burn, or smite in combination with enemy max HP. This is worded terribly. What this actually does, how this trial actually works, and it's actually it's remarkably easy to do. This took me 1 turn. The first trial, the easy trial, damage him while he's under fear, easy, is incredibly difficult. This normal trial is incredibly easy. So here's how it works, right? Damage him under fear and true fear. Lydia is just spamming A1 to keep fear up the whole time. This is just a nightmare because you just can't do any real damage. I'm pretty sure when Ninja does damage, if he dies, it doesn't count as damage. I don't know. This took forever to do. This is almost instant. The way this actually works is damage the Chimera on any of his 5 turns using any skills that scale based on enemy max HP, or poison, or HP burn, or smite. You can use any combination of these, and you simply have to fill up a bar. There will be a bar with a number for damage that increases with difficulty. On Nightmare, I found this incredibly easy. Yeah, I think you could do this probably with just a 6-star Brimstone alone. Certainly, if Ninja ever lands any HP burns without killing himself, that will probably do it very quickly. I actually ran a Toxic set on Lydia for this, and it's not great. It helped me do a couple of things, but I probably will... I've already ditched it. I've already moved on from Toxic Set Lydia. But that helped with this a little bit as well. But this trial is super easy. Then depleting the jewel bar within 5 turns. Like I said, number 1, it's very difficult to keep your jewel target alive. I mean, I can keep Krisk alive easily, of course. He's Krisk. That's super easy. Or like, yeah, if you've got protected, increased defense, or probably like a big shield or something. But I couldn't do it in this team. And in the attempts I've done where I did keep the jewel person alive, I never managed to actually break the jewel bar. That seems pretty tough. It does have 6 legendary essence, which is good, but it's really hard to do. So I was able to do the first 2. Trial number 2, I was able to do this. This is why Mikage is in there, and this is a really good one because this is going to give you gemstones and this ore thing, I don't know what it's called, for upgrading your stuff. 6 unique debuffs on the Chimera within 5 turns while your champions are under increased accuracy. Swap over to Lady Mikage. I actually forgot. You can see I was doing moves with Mikage. I forgot. But what I would do is just swap to Mikage instantly into Form 2 at the start of this, put on increase accuracy, and you'll have it done straight away. Swap her back into Form 1 straight after, and just leave her in Form 1 for the rest of the fight. Super easy. Super, super easy. I think I was doing an ally attack there to try get decreased attack and fear, but I forgot that Lydia was stunned. But it doesn't matter. We've got our debuffs on now. We're good. So yeah, this first trial is actually very easy. Mikage does it for free. I'd highly recommend bringing an increase. Actually, you can use Skeletor, because I know you guys love Skeletor. The comment section tells me so. Um, any increased accuracy champion is a pretty high value thing to bring, and you don't need much. It's actually super easy to do that one. Normal damage him Chimera under weaken if you're under increased crit rate or crit damage. I thought this would be great. Mikage, increased crit damage, ally attack, brilliant. Lydia dies, so she doesn't have Jewel. She can put weaken. This should be super easy. It's impossible. Doesn't work. Like I said, I don't think it's counting Ninja's damage because he keeps dying, and this was impossible. Couldn't do it, and then I couldn't move on to the third one, which sucks because again, this is just doing damage with weaken and decreased defense on. Which sucks because it's mythical resources, which are really nice. Then again, I thought Ninja would be perfect with this. Damage it within 3 turns. I think it's like a 3-turn window or something. While it's under decreased defense and you're under perfect veil, Ninja, the perfect champion. He's always under veil. The boss, he puts decreased defense even. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. I mean, here we don't have decreased defense on. I was just sort of spamming the fears. But I tried to do this with Ninja, and it basically does not work. So yeah, that's extremely difficult to do. Very hard, which is a pity because I think these are super easy and they give you lots of stuff. But 6 debuffs and 6 buffs, easy. Freebie. Block 7 stuns, also super easy. So yeah, ironically, I think this easy one is ridiculously hard. I do think the Ram form is way overtuned in the reflect damage. I think it reflects 25%. I think it could reflect 10% and it would be much more reasonable. As it is way too... I mean, they must intend for you to use... Oh, there's Ninja, 43,000 damage to himself. Goodbye, Ninja. Thanks for your sacrifice. They must intend for you to use, like, specific relics or block damage or, I don't know, unkillable something. It's very hard to do. I have not figured out... This team is not good for the Ram form. Plain and simple. I just said, this Ram form freaking sucks. It sucks, and we're not going to bother. Okay, next we're moving on to the Lion form. Lion form, really easy. Lion form, super easy. He just does damage. Again, he was actually targeting Lydia. She had the highest defense on the team. He just smacks Lydia, but he can't kill her. It's, for whatever reason, very easy to live against this guy. I mean, I feel like the Ram form is clearly overtuned. I feel like this form is probably undertuned. People obviously won't like to hear that. How did I do on the Lion form? I think I did pretty well on the Lion form. So I did okay. We did trial 2, easy, normal, hard, and we did easy of trial 3. So we did some of them. We did 4 different trials in the Lion form. What did we do? So on Lion form, was not able to do this. Damage him while he's one of your champion. Damage it while he's under 1 debuff or more, and you're under increased defense. That's super easy, but I didn't have increased defense. I did not have shield. Couldn't do that either. Didn't have block damage unkillable. I just skipped all of these, unfortunately. Trial number 2, I was able to do all of this, and this is why Mikage is in here. Do damage on 3 turns while you're under 5 unique buffs. Extremely easy to fill up that bar very quick. Damage him while he's under decreased speed, decreased defense. Again, super easy. That's giving you mythical crafting materials on Nightmare. Very important. And then damage with counterattacks and ally attack. That's why I brought in Lady Mikage. That's mythical crafting materials. I want that. Mikage gets that for us very easily with her A1 and her A3 with Ninja. Very easy. She'd probably be easy with anyone on the team, to be honest. That's cool. Trial 3, I was able to do Leech. Nekmothar helped us do this. He's got Leech. It's helping us stay alive. But Nekmothar compared to Skeletor brings in Leech. Nekmothar compared to Krisk brings in Leech. That let us do an extra trial. Unfortunately, then we got stuck. Decreased resistance is extremely rare. Didn't have that. And then reflect damage, pain link, and yeah, reflect damage effects. Again, no way. You know, like, again, it's a bit awkward. I think Snick Track would let you bring Leech, and Snick Track would also do reflect damage, pain link. Snick Track also gives you shields, but I think you also get stuck, and decreased resistance is just quite tricky. That's not easy to fit in. Yeah, funny enough, Nekmothar let us have Leech, but didn't have decreased resistance. Skeletor decreased resist, but no Leech. So yeah, that's this form. This form I found very, very easy with this team. He's just hitting you, but he doesn't do much damage. We beat the crap out of him, and that's basically it. That's the whole form. We just beat him up. The trials completed for me very fast, and really no stress at all. Oh, I think because Perfect Veil was on Lydia, he started beating up Elva, which is bad. but she was able to survive, so wasn't the worst. I think then the veil fell off. I don't know. Lydia got veil back on. I think he smacked Necmothar, but again, it didn't really matter. Elva definitely makes this a bit weird with the veils. Yeah, he starts smacking Necmo, but it's fine. So I found that form super easy. We're back into the ultimate form. Now, this is very important. Coming up towards the end of the ultimate form, around turn 24 or 25, you want to take manual control of the fight because you're going into the Viper form. Playing on manual will make your life a hell of a lot easier. So we come into Viper form. You can see coming into Viper form, I've saved almost all my abilities on cooldown. I haven't really used anything. I still use Ninja and Mikage stuff. That's fine. But I saved the other 3. We come in. He's going to steal our buffs. Annoying, but not a huge deal. He hits you very hard and puts out a bunch of poisons. Then we simply come in, and on Lydia's first turn, we put on the block active skills. This is important because if you don't block active skills, he will do his A2, which will throw his debuffs back on you, which makes any debuffs you do, it's just really hard to debuff him. So we just get block active skills on straight away, and pretty simple, bada bing, bada boom. Then we just cleanse with Elva. Everyone else just starts just doing their moves as normal. It's actually pretty straightforward, but Elva cleanses, and at this point, we're super safe. Yeah, and that's basically it. And then we just start slamming him. So that's how I dealt with this. A cleanser is really important. Block debuffs makes it a lot easier as well because his A1 is quite nasty. It will keep crowd controlling you, but you could totally just have like a cleanser with the Chainbreaker blessing. I think could be quite helpful for people if you got a high blessing on a cleanse champion. I do find block debuffs really nice, and Mikage can extend it to help. Now, there's a lot of complicated stuff happening with the trials for the Viper. Let's see which ones I did. First of all, what was I able to do? Quite a few of them, but it wasn't easy. Viper, we did trial 1, easy, normal, and hard. We got hard on turn 60. It was super tight. And Viper trial 3, we were able to do easy and normal. So I got 5 trials on the Viper. It was the most out of all of them. 4 trials on the Lion, 3 on the Ram, 5 on the Viper. This is what I was able to do the best in terms of trials, at least. What was I able to do? So for the Viper, damage the Viper while it's under block active skills. This takes a while, but it's very doable. Again, Lydia makes this super easy. Mikage can also extend block active skills, so that's very straightforward. With Lydia plus any debuff extender. Damage under 2 turns while it's under block buffs and HP burn. So that's why we need Ninja or another burner. That's very easy then. Block buffs. Lydia does it with the same moves that does block active skills. And then you just need a burn, and you're good. And this was really difficult. This one, for 12 Epic Essence, or whatever it's called. Ocular Masses, I don't know. This is so nasty. This is one of the worst ones. It's horrible. Damage the Chimera while it's under 9 or more debuffs, but not under block active skills. This is horrendous. Basically, the way I was able to do this, we did this near the end, coming up to turn 60. So near the end, I let block active skills expire. So I stopped using the Mikage extension, let block active skills expire, and then Lydia is in Toxic set. She was giving us some extra debuffs. We were able to get up to the 9 and be good to go. This is very difficult. I'm actually not even going to bother next time doing it. It's too much of a pain in the ass. And Toxic set was disappointing for another reason I'll show you in a second. So I've put her back in protection, but I did use Toxic for this run. That is how I did it. But this team does have enough debuffs, but you have to get lucky with masteries, okay? So we've got decreased defense, weaken, block active skills, which we need to fall off, but also block buffs and poison sensitivity. Lydia has 5 debuffs and Brimstone. Lydia has 6, which is nuts. 6 debuffs from Lydia. She is so good for this fight. But what you need to do, and then, by the way, we get the other 3 for 9 from Necmothar. Necmo has decreased speed, leech, and decreased attack. There we go. And we've also got burn from Ninja, so it should be kind of easy, actually. Not too bad. But we need Lydia to place Brimstone, preferably, as well. But block buffs or poison. She can extend poison sensitivity with her A1. That one's easy. But you want the block active skills to fall off, but preferably still have block buffs. And you need to manipulate it with Lady Mikage. You need to let Lady Mikage not do her A2 or time it well so that you can get like a good hit against the boss. And honestly, I found that once we were able to hit the 9 debuffs without the block active skills, One thing that happened here, watch out for this as well. You'll see what happens here in a second. I'm like, this is great. Great, cool. We got loads of debuffs. It's going to fall off. We're going to be fine. Check out what happened. I would also save your ally attack for this moment. Look what happens here. Like we just come in and I think it threw some back. I don't think it did throw it back, but it outran a bunch of the buffs, which is really awkward. So now we had to rebuild it up. I think that was just its A1 it did, I think. I'm kind of confused. I thought it maybe went into one of its A2 or A3. I think it just did its A1, which put out a bunch of poisons. But then we sort of catch back up. I was just barely able to do it. It was super sketchy. I think he actually might have done his A2. Sorry, let's skip on ahead a little bit. So yeah, we're building up the debuffs here. I think he maybe did his A2. And because we had got block buffs up, it didn't do anything. I think that was key. But you can see here, look at this. Turn 59, yeah? Nothing. Needs to do 1.5 million damage. We've got nothing. We've got nothing. And I was like, shit, what's going to happen here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8. We need something else. Yeah, he did his A2, which is really interesting. So there's some funky stuff happening. He didn't do the buff strip. He tried to do his A2, transfer the debuffs, but everyone had block buffs, so it didn't happen. And then I think what happens, I'm pretty sure, is Lydia manages to land another debuff, and we just barely squeeze it in. We can't do her A3. Yeah, we get the toxic set, which is exactly enough. But yeah, there's some awkward manipulation. And then, like, Ninja got a weak hit, but I think the ally attack from Mikage, yeah, like, we just blitz through it then, and it's job done. Or no, it's actually, we need a little bit more. Ninja getting some weak hits. If Ninja was the right affinity, it would have been fine. But it's certainly quite awkward. And we just about get it. Maybe even Poisons did it? Or did we just... No, there we go. And we just barely got it. So that was super tight. But that's the Viper form. That's how I handled it. Honestly, trying to do this one made it a nightmare. It's so much easier if you just ignore this trial. But it's 12 epic things. Now, here's something... Oh, you maybe got a little look there. Okay. I ran Toxic Set on Lydia. And Poison Sensitivity. She would start every Viper form. And this is after 2 Viper forms. She started every Viper form with her A3. So putting up Poison Sensitivity, it extends with her A1. It's up the whole time. Her and Toxic Set, after 2 entire Viper forms, nowhere close to doing this. So I was thinking, gosh, Toxic Set is going to be great on Lydia, because we can get this done really easily, and then keep your champs alive for 3 turns, get myself some legendary stuff. Amazing. No, doesn't work. So as far as I can see, Toxic Set is very, very hard to get value. You need an actual poison champion to do this, unfortunately, from what I can see. Or you need less buffs. It's just really, really annoying to do. Very tough. And it conflicts. Like, if you don't put up decreased defense weaken, it makes it very hard to actually damage it while it's got block active skills. And yeah, so this was a night, and it's a pain in the butt. I do think this hard trial is insanely difficult as well. It does give you mythic essence or whatever shit, mythic shit, but you need to revive somebody. That's really tough because it blocks your first revive. So very hard to have somebody die at the right time and then revive them twice while it's still alive. That's really difficult. So I don't know how you do that. You need probably like revive on death, like a Godseeker in Eerie or something. That's tough. So yeah, I tried trial 2. Again, this easy trial is just not easy. Toxic Set, not enough. And we had Poison Set too. We just didn't have enough. I mean, even with less, but it would have been just almost impossible, honestly. So this seems really hard. Then trial 3, this was actually pretty easy. We did 2 of these. So damage it while it's under decreased attack. You're under increased speed. Super easy. And then damage it with a single skill while you're under increased attack and block debuffs. That is also why we need Mikage for the increased attack in there as well. So that was the team. And yeah, coming up to the end of it, let's see. We decided to keep the damage. Skip on ahead a bit more. But yeah, finish it off. But yeah, we did 2 billion. 2 billion points for Chimera Clash here on Nightmare. 163, almost 164. I did do this a couple of test runs. I did 170 million damage with the team, but we missed 1 trial. So I switched Lydia into Toxic, and that actually cost us damage. We lost damage from not having protection. I actually would think 9-piece Feral is actually perfect for Lydia. That would be the best by far. 9-piece Feral. I only have 8 pieces of Feral. When I get the 9th piece, I think she's missing a necklace or a ring. When I get that, Lydia's going into 9-piece Feral. I think it's going to be the best. but we missed the trial without the toxic. So the toxic set helped us do it. Again, like I said, I wouldn't bother with the toxic set in the future. The toxic set was a pain in the ass. It would fill up the debuff bar. Ninja couldn't place burns. Yeah, it was just toxic set did almost negligible damage. It didn't do enough damage for the poison task. It's not needed for the other task. Ninja's burns were enough. So toxic set, I felt like after my testing was a waste of time. I'm curious. In your testing, you might find something different. Maybe there will be strategies using the toxic set. From what I could see, it sucked. So I was like, don't even bother with that. And so, yeah, I think 9-piece protection and 9-piece feral will be the way to go, or something maybe to help her survive when she's the jewel tank. It's awkward to build her because she's the jewel tank. She needs quite specific stats for me. But there we go. And did I click keep results here? Do we get to see the screen? Oh, I think I forgot. But that's why I took the screenshot. But it pops up and ta-da! We kept the results and we get our stuff, which is nice. What can we do with it? What gemstones did I get? Oh, and by the way, for the Chimera Clash, and I'll show you some other really top tier teams, that got me almost up to here. So if I can do 2 billion with my second key, I'll be halfway. And then if I do the same next week, I do 2 billion per key, I'll be able to max this out in 2 weeks. So I'm very happy with that. I'm a very end game player. I do think that some of the big Krakens, I'll show you some IPR teams, like IPR are the #1 clan in the game. We're up against them. I'll show you some of their teams. I think they'll probably be able to get the 8 billion per week. For me, it's looking like probably 2 weeks to get the 8 billion chest. I think it's very hard. I think it's really tough to get this. So yeah, it's going to be tough. It looks like I will be able, though. I will be able to get the top chest from this, which is kind of insane, actually. I think that's... I was expecting this to be really tough, but the multipliers are really making a big difference. So one thing I saw was interesting. For tough, way more damage than us, but because we did more trials, he's still way ahead of me. Let me see. So he did 3 billion points. I did 2 billion. I guess actually he's about 50% ahead of me on damage, actually. So I don't know. It seems like just doing the damage was worth a bit more. I'm not sure. And as you can see, by the way, when you lock in a key, you no longer get the multiplier. So you want to do 1 key on each difficulty, and that's important as well. Don't use multiple keys on a single difficulty. Grab as many as you can. I think it's going to give you way more clash points, and you're going to get more chests as well. So don't double key a difficulty, unless you're like on easy, and you can't, you need to on easy or something like that. But preferably spread your keys around would be ideal, I think. You get 2 keys per week. I think you want to preferably do 2 difficulties if you can. Let me show you the bills on them, and let me show you the rewards I got first. So what did I get? Dun, 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 dun. My collection. Gems. Here we go. We got Target Finder. 5 accuracy whenever an enemy resists a debuff. That's a bit shit. Invigorated. Turn meter increase effects are 10% more effective on the wearer. That's okay. It's all right for like an R-man's. Fine. Good with supersonic sets. Like, fine. All right. Unburdened. Wearer speed increased by 2 for each dead ally. Game changing. 1 dead ally. 2 speed. Elva will revive so fast you won't believe it. So yeah, I got kind of shitty gemstones, I feel like. But hey, we're getting some, and we'll get hopefully more from our second key. And I think do you get some from the Hydra, from Chimera Clash? Or what do you get from Chimera Clash? Well, hopefully we'll come second, maybe third. We're up against some tough clans. IPR is probably gonna, let's be real, they're gonna take first. You get some gemstones in here. Okay, so there's gemstones up for grabs. Yeah, coming second, you can potentially get a mythical. Max is legendary for coming third. First place, at least you get the same stuff. I guess you just get more of it. Just higher chances for better drops, I suppose. Anyway, so that's where we're at. Cool. That's what I got. Let me show you the bills on these champions. What we did, why we did it. Elva was in 9-piece protection. That's just mostly for the damage boost, actually. I think protecting the buffs is nice, but it's actually not as important as I thought it was. But the damage boost is just mega. Like, there's nothing else to really run on her, I think. You could, at a budget, you'd like a Guardian set for more healing to her and to keep your team alive, maybe. These were her stats. And, yeah, no Relic. Life Harvest, I think we should switch her. I actually think Chainbreaker's probably the way to go if you are being CC'd. That chance to remove debuffs. And it could also, at higher levels, start giving you turn meter as well, which would be pretty good to just get you back in the game if the Viper does manage to, like, petrify her with the A1 or something. yeah, it will help you break free. So I think Chain Breaker or possibly Intimidating Presence might be quite nice. Um, maybe Lightning Cage, actually, for a bit of enemy max HP damage. I think it's only when enemies receive buffs or have turn meter fill. That's not going to work very much. There's not that much good to put on her for this fight, to be honest. I mean, you could always go Nourish, get more continuous heals. She does some. I don't know. I think Chainbreaker, probably. These were her masteries. Ninja, these were his masteries. I do think for a lot of damage dealers, War Master will do more than Helm Smasher. But he's in Helm Smasher for Hydra. We're not going to change him. Helm Smasher, sorry. I think War Master is probably stronger for most people. He has Nature's Wrath. I'm not sure. He's doing so much damage. He's just killing himself. He's in Merciless. 2-piece Cruel, 6-piece Merciless for 40% ignore defense. Very good at dying to the Ram with this build. He's in some of my top gear because I use him for Nightmare Hydra. That's Ninja. Nekmo Thar. I actually put him into 9-piece Feral. Again, he puts out 3 debuffs. That's 15% more damage. Pretty great, I think. And getting more speed and accuracy, that's what he wants. So it helps you build him even without good sets. So he's a little bit slow. I've run out of speed glyphs. But he's got 450 accuracy. And yeah, that's him. He has these masteries. And yeah, he has 6-star cruelty, which is fine. I actually wonder with 9-piece Feral, maybe does Brimstone work with Feral? Does it count? I don't know. Lydia does have my Brimstone right now, and she will switch over to 9-piece Feral when I've got it. I think I've got the set ready to go, actually. Oh, actually, some of it's gone onto Nekmo. Whoops. Yeah, I've been fiddling around with a whole lot of builds. Yeah, okay, we're just missing a banner. We've got 8-piece Feral with good stats as well. Good stats with 8-piece Feral. We just need a freaking banner, and we're golden. We're blasting. We'll see. She's in 9-piece protection, though. Bit awkward. Her increased speed. We've got 3 champions doing increased speed, so it's mostly just the strengthen. I really think this isn't important at all. I kind of feel like you can put her in anything. I think Feral is by far the best because she's putting out Fears on one of the forms. Decreased defense, weaken. Now, we've got decreased defense from Ninja, but the weaken. Poison sensitivity, block buffs, block active skills. That's 2 more buffs against the boss. That's 3 buffs against the Viper. That's a ton more damage. So I do think that 9-piece Feral is the way to go. She has these blessings. And she had 6-star Brimstone. This didn't work with Toxic set. So yeah. Oh, actually, sorry. What build is she in for this run? She was in Toxic set for this run. I'm an idiot. So I actually ran her in Toxic for this run. So I ran her like this for the run. Almost the same stats, guys. Almost the same. And yeah, for her to be the dual target, it will always go on whoever has the lowest crit damage. This was very awkward for me to do with Elva. Because Elva doesn't have a 4-star blessing. So she's missing 38% crit damage. So I had to try get Elva into gear with like crit damage. I was trying to get gear, just anything with crit damage. I think these boots, I'm like, yeah, crit damage. Get me some crit damage there. 2 rolls in crit damage, amazing. I was trying to build crit damage on Elva really hard. It's very difficult with protection. I didn't have a crit damage necklace to try and make her, and I didn't have the masteries. There's a crit damage mastery, another 10%. I think she had it. Yeah, it makes it a bit awkward. Yeah, Lydia with the lowest crit damage. That was her. I tried her in Toxic, and it helped do that one thing in Viper. I wasn't too impressed, though. And finally, Mikage in 9-piece protection. Again, I don't think protecting the buffs is super important. It will help a bit if you're squishier than me. I think protection set is really nice for when you transition back into the ultimate form, because the first thing the ultimate form does is strip all your buffs and smack you really hard. Protection set makes it not hit as hard. So I think that's valuable. But yeah, she's in 9-piece protection. This is just for damage because she's in all 3 of my Clan Boss teams now. Hydra, Clan Boss, and Chimera. So that's just, it's literally just for the 10% more damage from increased attack crit damage. And sometimes the shield as well. Will give you another little bit too. She's got cruelty, only 2-star, doesn't really matter. She has these masteries. Yeah, that's her. So that was the team. Again, I manualed a lot of it, but the AI presets I had set up, I think should roughly guide you through, though I really do encourage you to manual. This is Ram, but yeah, this is her. Otherwise, Ninja, I'm actually kind of setting priority 2 onto this. Yeah, I think he does it anyway, but just to be sure. Lydia was set up like this. So I'm actually will turn this back on now. I turned this off to try to do the poison thing with Toxic Set, and it didn't work. So we're abandoning that idea. We're just putting on the weak and going for damage. But priority 1 on her A3, do that as her opening move, makes life so much easier. Necmo, the same thing every form. Elva, the same thing every form. So it's actually quite a simple little team to run. That does quite a few trials. I think, honestly, 12 trials for week 1, in my opinion, is actually an F-ton, to be blunt. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm very happy with that. Now, let me show you. This is the best key in our clan so far. 285, way more damage. Senna is bonkers. Senna is the MVP for this fight. Toshiro is like a straight upgrade. I guess he doesn't have HP burn, so he missed out some trials, but Toshiro will do more damage than Ninja. Toshiro actually brings Leech. So that could mean that you could ditch Nekmothar. Toshiro brings the Leech, which is handy. And he does more damage than Ninja as well. Anyway, well, he's also tankier. He might survive. I don't know. He might actually live against the Ram form. Must ask for it about that. But Senna is super MVP. She's crazy. I'll show you some of the other top teams. Let's look at Imperium. So their number 1 guy with 1 key on Brutal. He went in 400 million damage. 2 Teoxes, Nekmo, Lazarius, and Lydia. This seems to be their go-to. Mike here on Nightmare, again, 250, but it's giving him basically the same points. 250. It's that easy, guys. You want to get... the funny thing about this is that I was going to say it's that easy to just have +4 6-star 2 Teoxes. Only, it's quite a budget team, to be fair. Only 1 Teox is +4. The other one is only 6-star. It's a bit shit. Embarrassing, one might say. The rest +4. Funny enough, though, Senna is so strong. I mean, it's not to say 4Tough's team is budget by any means, but it's much more budget than that other one. But Senna is that strong, guys. She is that strong. That's crazy. Got Brutal, similar sort of thing. They're doing a lot of the same sort of stuff. Nightmare, this only did 150 with 2 Acrisia. So Senna, they're actually doing well, but not insane. Yeah, so kind of interesting. Paladins. Got a couple of big keys. Here's a Brutal key. 460 on Brutal. 7 things can double Teox, Galakid, Nekmothar, Romantu. I think Romantu is a potential one as well. And yeah. But yeah, look. I think this was a great starting point. Like I said, this was my team. This was how I did. I was very, very happy with it. And yeah, very happy. Very happy. There we go. I think good damage and 12 trials done is some nice rewards as well. And hopefully this has been insightful for you, breaking down why I did what I did, the manual play that I did. Obviously not expecting you to... It's always the damn comments on these videos, isn't it? I don't have that champion. Nope, I can't do it. I'm not expecting you to have them, always. It's just more the concept and the walkthrough, what I did, why, what it was able to do, the strengths and weaknesses, and so on. Hopefully it was insightful. And we'll see how we do an Ultra Nightmare. I'll be back. I've done my part, knocking down Nightmare. We'll wait for the clan to beat it. We'll move on to Ultra Nightmare, see if the gearing and stuff still works. I think with Lady Mikage's accuracy aura, we should be fine. And we'll see if we can pull it off an Ultra Nightmare. I do think, by the way, this team would do a lot more damage, and so would this one as well, on a different rotation. We're losing quite a lot because Ninja is Magic Affinity. So other rotations are fine. Mikage's got no debuffs. Nekmothar is quite replaceable with other champions. Like, we could put in Krisk, we just lose out on the Leech. We could put in a Krisk, or we could do other stuff. Like, there's lots of alternatives. Skeletor is also Spirit. There's a lot of Spirit champs that fit this slot. Anyway, whatever. I'm babbling. You get the gist. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.